Frankenstein. What is it?
Like, I'm pretty sure it's a book, right? Like, I can read this book. And I read it. I read the book. So, today we're gonna be talking about this glorious thing. Frankenstein. But Frankenstein has many connections to the real world, doesn't it? Its themes, it bonds to us. It connects to us. Just like the monster itself, how it bonded with its fist and did that to a bunch of people, which wasn't good, but its connections are good. Join us in our search today as we see how our own willingness to put our work in front of our own lives, our own family and friends, is both pervasive within the novel and our modern society. Come join us in the search
not knowing how to do something
of workaholism.
I'm just gonna play Elden Ring instead.
Today we will be joined by our two experts, now introducing themselves right here.
Hello, I'm Aaron Warren, the certified leading expert on the topic at hand.
Hi, I'm James Snow.
And I'm Andy Golnick. Let's get into this. To summarize, there's this dude, Frankenstein, and he's this cool scientist guy, but then he gets a bit greedy with his science stuff and becomes a bit obsessed with it. And then he creates this creature, and he's like, oh my gosh, I created a creature. But then, the second the creature is alive, he's like, ew. And because he said ew, the creature is lonely and sad himself, and wreaks havoc on everything. Oh no, it's wreaking havoc. Now we're gonna be going into the main theme, which is workaholism.
Throughout life, both humans and creatures alike have always tried to prioritize their work over their own life. In the story of Frankenstein, also known as the modern Prometheus, it goes into great detail about this, on how the main character, Victor Frankenstein, goes out of his way to try and create the most perfect human being on the planet. But due to his overlooking nature and not understanding necessities of human biology, he creates an 8-foot monster that he is afraid of. He overworked himself, and he did not understand how to create something that he would love and cherish for his entire life.
Next, we are going to read a pertinent quote from the actual text of Frankenstein that relates to how Frankenstein himself views work and human relationship towards it. You were hereafter to be hailed as the benefactor of your species, your name adorned as belonging to brave men who encountered death for honor and the benefit of mankind. And now behold, with the first imagination of danger, or, if you will, the first mighty and terrific trial of your courage, you shrink away and are content to be handed down as men who had not the strength enough to endure cold and peril, and so poor souls they were, chilly and returned to their warm firesides. Frankenstein, page 190 and 191. So the connection should be clear. Victor Frankenstein values the work of others over their lives, and inevitably it led to his death. Oh no, Victor Frankenstein, my BFF is dead. I'm Robert Walton, and no, I don't want him to die. Oh no, this is terrible. I'm so sad. So we know the destructive nature of workaholism within the novel of Frankenstein, but we haven't explored it in our real world, which is why we have interviewed multiple people throughout the school on a few questions relating to the topic.
Name?
Rylan Richardson.
Charlie King.
Charlie King. You're the dude who's always playing mobile games while you play the clarinet.
So, you are Shannon.
So true.
Yes.
What is your relationship with schoolwork?
I do it.
Get it done as quickly as possible so I can have fun.
What would you sacrifice for your schoolwork?
I'd sacrifice a lot. I'd say probably, definitely not human life.
How do you cope with stress?
I mostly just like try to take deep breaths and like think about it going good.
Listening to music and relaxing, I guess. I will draw or read a book.
Okay, thank you.
According to an article by Berkeley, the 6 signs of burnout are overwork, i.e. workload, a perceived lack of control,
I guess just do it because I have to,
Why do you have to?
just to get good grades.
lack of reward or recognition, poor relationships, lack of fairness, values mismatch. What stresses you out in life?
School for one. I think mainly all my responsibilities or stuff that I've promised to do.
How do you cope with stress?
Procrastination, I'd say.
As you could obviously see from the previous interviews, our individuals do have issues with their schoolwork because workload is an issue within the modern human race, just as it was within the novel of Frankenstein. But it's not only an issue within one novel, it's an issue within many different forms of media. I'll give it to Aaron right now to share 2 excerpts from the following.
When our food and clothing and housing are all born in the complication of mass production, mass method is bound to get into our thinking and eliminate all other thinking. In our time, mass or collective production has entered our economics, our politics, and even our religion. F. Scott Fitzgerald. I can understand why a system built on a pattern must try to destroy the free mind, for that is one thing which can by inspection destroy such a system. Surely I can understand this, and I hate it, and I will fight against it to preserve the one thing that separates us from the uncreative beasts. F. Scott Fitzgerald.
How sad. It seems that the valuing of output in our society has led to a devaluing of the individual.
What is your relationship with schoolwork?
I do it.
Why?
Because I want to get into a good college and I want to get good grades.
The need to get to a good college is a pressure on students, along with all the other pressures. Aaron, care to expand on this?
Applications to most Ivy League universities averaged between 20,000 and 40,000 a year in the early 2010s. With acceptance rates hovering around 10%, the Ivy League sets the standard for exclusivity. Many high school seniors and their parents heavily invest in applying to Ivy League schools, from SAT preparations classes to costly counselors, overlooking colleges that do not have elite names.
Another piece of media that interestingly connects to this exact same topic is Lego Batman, the movie. When you look at the Joker's character within Lego Batman, the movie, due to Batman having a distant nature, Joker wasn't able to get the love and attention that he so needed and desired from Batman. And so, instead of trying to reach out and become friends with Batman, instead the Joker just tries to kill Batman more and get a bunch of people to help him out, which somewhat mirrors Robert Walton within Frankenstein. And so only once the Joker realizes that it's actually friendship that he's been after this whole time is he able to find his own happy end.
And what is your relationship with schoolwork?
I also do it because I want to get good grades. I want my teachers to like me. I don't like when they're disappointed in me.
It has been well documented that some middle-aged workers in Japan are committing suicide in part due to work-related stress as well as the economic recession. The term karo jisatsu, or overwork suicide, refers to people who are driven to take their own lives after excessive overwork.
In Mary Wollstonecraft's words, no man chooses evil because it is evil. He only mistakes it for happiness, the good he seeks. Because our society equates the amount we produce to happiness, when in reality, they are completely unrelated. And so many people search for happiness by doing more work, when in reality, they are only making their lives harder. Finally, putting together all the concepts that we discussed previously, we have Jack, the model human being. Do you feel less stressed if you don't do the schoolwork or if you do the schoolwork?
I feel more stressed when I do the schoolwork because then I'm worried about if I'm gonna get a good grade or not. But I feel less stressed when I don't do it because then I'm like, I ain't even gotta do that. I'm just gonna play Elden Ring instead. I'm gonna play Fortnite instead. I'm gonna go to the gym instead. I'm gonna smash bench. I'm gonna hit a PR. Like, that's way more fun than doing school.
Thank you for joining us on our wondrous journey where we find the heart of workaholism within Frankenstein and a real world. And remember, don't work yourselves too hard. Try and find a balanced life.